Greetings, Dungeon Delvers and fellow DMs, and welcome back to the DM's Den. One of the core mechanics inside an RPG is a leveling system. Most give experience points for completing tasks or defeating enemies, while others may give rewards for appropriate play styles or character development. Whatever the incentive, one of the main focuses on a tabletop RPG is the idea of growth. And what better way to represent this than through leveling up? In 5th edition D&D, the main source of experience points is found in defeating enemies, each of which is worth a certain amount of experience points. This way, over enough time and enough killing, characters level up and become stronger. Traditionally, D&D uses a basic number system. The DM deals out a certain number of experience to you, you add it to your existing number of experience, compare that number to your desired number for the next level, and level up or not. We factor in how many monsters were killed, how big the monsters were, if there were any plot points, specific character development, teamwork, strategy, good ideas, and any amount of other things. But you're still comparing numbers to numbers. And the numbers will get exponentially larger the higher level you get. In my campaigns, both for efficiency, for speed, and for the age groups I'm working with, which are young preteens all the way through to adults, sometimes mixed up in the same group, this streamlining idea seems to work just fine without breaking the game. So let me explain what that means. If I factor in like one big encounter every couple of sessions, like a really big boss battle or some integral thing that they're about to face off against or deal with, and then smaller possible encounters, but they may be able to like talk their way out of it. There's a chance that this could escalate, but probably not every session. As well as plot development, teamwork that I want to encourage, role-playing that I want to encourage, good ideas, big events. Everything factors out. I mathed it all out. It all factors out to pretty much a 1-to-1 session to level scale. Now what this means is that a first level character going toward level 2 has to be present, so they have to show up, be active, present in the plot, in the story, not just checking their cell phone. They're there, they're doing stuff, in character, for 2 sessions before they can become level 2. When they're level 2, they have to be active, present for 3 sessions. Then they're level 3, and so on. The way I run it is to award my players a session point at the end of every session, represented by a bunch of tallies in the experience points spot in their character sheet, where usually we have those huge numbers now growing. When they reach a new level, they level up their character, erase all the tally marks, and then start over, moving toward the next level. So that means a 6th level character might have, let's say, they have 6 tallies in that spot. At the end of that session, they put in their 7th tally, and they will level up next session, erase all those 7 tallies, and then at the end of that next session, after they've leveled up to level 7, I will give them a session point, and they will put 1 tally in that spot. They are now 1/8 of the way to level 8. Now this does mean that a 9th level character is going to have to attend 10 sessions before they become level 10. And if that number seems big to you, it shouldn't, because when it comes to the rate of the game is designed to ramp up quickly, have you kind of rapidly level up for the first few levels, and then it becomes exponentially longer. Because by then, it's not about leveling up. By the time you reach double digits, it's not about your next power. It's about the story. It's about your character development. It's about how you're interacting as a team. It's about living in that world. It's about your NPCs. It's about your villains that are plaguing the land. It's about your backstories being refulfilled. It's about revisiting those things. It's about your loot. It's about the fortress that you're building. It's about the airship battles. It's about, wow, we're taking on a freaking dragon. Let's do this thing. It's not about you getting to level 10 anymore. It's about the story. And I use this method because, for me, it tends to pull players out of that number crunching, min-maxing headspace that they can put themselves in, and brings them back into the story. Because at the end of the day, it's about the fun that you're having playing this story. It's about the group game playing that story. It's not about the numbers. So by removing the numbers from the entire setting and still realizing that it doesn't break the game, it's not like they have an accelerated leveling system now. It's pretty much the same. It should take you a while to get from level 10 to level 11. It should take you 20 sessions to get from 19 to 20. Even though you're fighting beholders, it should take you that long, because that's it after that. It should take you a while. You're not all in a race to get to level 20. It's about the group game. It's that group campfire story.
Hey there everybody, I'd like to take a hot second right now because I had recorded this video quite a while ago before moving into my new house and having a better setup and all that jazz. And since that time, my players and I have added extra incentives to accelerate the leveling system. We are still in favor of using the session points, and it's a great way to create a baseline. That way, every session you are guaranteed at least one session point. Therefore, you're always going to grow. You don't have to sit there and worry about, well, I didn't quite do a lot this session, so I'm not going to level up as fast as everybody else. That's dumb. We don't do that. Every time we play, you are guaranteed at least one session point. Now, I say at least one because sometimes my players will tackle something really big or really hard, or I'll give them a specific challenge. And if they survive, if they pass it, if they do awesome, if they use their creativity and their great teamwork, and they think outside the box, they succeed. And they deserve an extra point, or 2, or 3. The most I've ever awarded my players has been 4 session points, and oh man, I make sure they earn it. Other ways for you to accelerate a player's leveling system is to give them assignments. I know that you cannot make every session. I know life gets in the way, there's vacation, there's sickness. I get that. So, as a means for my players not to get too far behind if they've missed a lot of sessions, I give them assignments. If they can give me their background, they get a session point because they're adding to the world. That's awesome. If they can give me further depth into their background, I ask them to perhaps, hey, go make a city. Random city, go make it. Because now they have created something in the world that they're now an expert on. They should get a session point for that. And it makes my job easier because they've done some of my work for me. That's a good thing. These are all good things. Also, players are starting to discuss with me extra side hooks, like major side quests that they can do, personal quests embedded in their backstory. And we discuss what the proper reward is for them completing these quests. Maybe it's just 1 point extra. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3. Maybe it's bigger than that. We don't know. And it could send us down a really interesting rabbit hole. But it's personal. It's creative. It's them thinking seriously about their character and their development. And these are qualities I want to encourage. So, in short, you, as the game master, you decide how many session points are awarded at any given time. But the baseline is 1. That's really important. That way your players understand they're always going to grow a little bit. They're always going to continue forward in their growth. But you can decide when to accelerate that process here and there. And as always, if you decide to adopt any of these ideas, please discuss them with your players first. You don't want to throw this out of nowhere, especially if people have become embedded in that numbers system and that's their expectation, don't just flip it on them. Please discuss these things with your players first. Justify your end, get their feedback, and decide as a group what is most appropriate. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Please, game responsibly. Like I said before, thanks very much for tuning in to today's episode of the DM's Den. If you'd like to find me on the Book of Faces, you can do that. I also have a Twitter account where I post new videos, as well as the miniatures that I've been working on. That's a new endeavor since my last upload. Also, if you would like to help the channel out in a big way to help these videos get out faster and with higher quality, you can consider becoming a patron over at our Patreon. Anywho, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.